Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, hello tubers, hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. I know I've been away from YouTube for a while. We've had storms and all sorts of weather phenomena, and I have not been able to upload. But today, I'm going to save you more of your money. It's all about your money. You earned it, keep most of it. A lot of YouTubers just want to make money off you. I, for free, actually want you to save more of your money. And that's what today's episode is all about. And it's not just for those of us like me who are preparing to retire abroad. Yeah, this is a very important video if you are planning to retire abroad in any country of the world. But for the millions upon millions of you who do travel, even just occasionally outside of your home country, whatever country that is, this video will save you more of your money. So bear with me, this is going to be a lot longer than a lot of my videos. I've done a lot of research, played around with things, ordered a lot of different cards, and I will tell you my personal take on how to save money when you travel. Let's get to it. First of all, a lot of people don't realize when they travel outside of their home country, whether it's the United States, Australia, Europe, United Kingdom, Canada, they often just use your credit card because it is very, very convenient. I get it. I've done it myself. It's a wonderful world that we can just take a piece of plastic. You can be in any country of the world and you can charge something and you can pay it later. Here is the problem. Number one, a lot of these credit cards, if you read the terms and conditions, you're being charged 2, maybe 2.5% on top of the foreign currency exchange rate to actually have that convenience. Now, are there credit cards that don't charge that? Yes, there are. Those are the cards you need to use. I'm not going to get into the list of which ones offer that, which ones don't. You can Google that in your home country. It would be a very difficult list to start listing credit cards available in multiple countries that offer this. But that's the first thing you want to think about, because you obviously are paying for that privilege. These banks are not interested in helping you travel just to be a nice company. They're not nice companies. They're just companies that want to make money off you. And it's your money in the end, so you might as well save it. So first of all, step number one, get a credit card that doesn't charge a foreign international currency conversion fee. Once you've done that, having money available and being able to move it to where you need it, very important, especially if you're traveling a lot. Like, hey, I just got back from Europe, and the card that I actually used was the CIBC Air Canada conversion card. Yeah, I had to blank out my personal information. It's only smart to do that when you post things on the internet. This card allows me 10 different global currencies, you know, the ones you typically would expect. They're hard currencies for the most part. Canadian dollar, US dollar, British pound, euro, Australian dollar, Turkish lira, not so hard of a currency lately, Hong Kong dollar, Mexican peso. I may have forgotten one or two. But anyway, the advantage of a card like this, only available to Canadians. Don't worry, we're going to get to a card that all of you, especially you Americans and Europeans and people in the United Kingdom, can get. We're going to get to a card that you can actually get. But I'm just using it as an example because I actually have this in my pocket right now. So this card costs nothing to get, costs nothing to use, and I get 1% cash back. So, for example, on my trip to the United Kingdom recently, all the purchases that I made, I'm going to get 1% back in British pounds sometime later this month, actually in a few days, I think. So, great. And I don't have to pay the currency conversion fee. But here's the kicker. There's always a kicker. There's always a catch. A card like this, they charge you a retail rate of foreign currency conversion. Don't cost me anything to load, don't cost me anything to use, and I can move the currencies around. Meaning if you're traveling, and let's say you're in France for a week and then suddenly you go over to the United Kingdom, well, you can just move your balances over and not have to worry about going to a currency conversion place and paying service fees. And you know those airport currency exchange places? For the most part, I do avoid them. Occasionally, I've used them, especially in Asia years ago, where you have a whole bunch of weird denominations and change, because usually coins can't be converted. You avoid all that stuff. You don't have to carry weird, coins from a whole bunch of different countries. Just move the money around. Yeah, Simple, easy peasy. But the problem is they do charge you a retail rate for the currency purchase when you convert it. Now, a way to avoid the currency conversion fee being what you'd call like a full retail. Why pay full retail when you don't have to? There are other ways to transfer money, and my new favorite now is Wise Card. I think it used to be called Wise Transfer or something like that. It's a UK-based business, but it is now offering this service and a typical card, just like this one, to move money around, pay people, accept money, and to even use as a global debit card. It's a wonderful thing for a bunch of reasons. First of all, they don't charge you that retail rate of currency exchange. No, they're charging you a typical mid-market rate. A wonderful thing. For example, just last night I tested my Wise Card loading up. I've actually been slowly buying hard currencies to hedge against the Filipino peso fluctuation because I'm going to be winding up in the Philippines. So right now the Philippine peso is at pretty much an 18-year low compared to the US dollar. So to hedge in case the Philippine government starts buying more Filipino pesos to prop up their local currency, I like the currency exchange rate right now. I think it's around 58 for the US dollar, maybe 43-ish for the Canadian dollar. So I like to dollar cost average and slowly buy Philippine pesos right now, because while I can't time the market, I'm not that smart, and nearly 99.99% of all people cannot time the currency forex market. But I do like the price now. I think of global currencies as like it's a basket of goods, like a grocery store. If I like the price right now, I can lock it in and buy some. Hey, if lettuce is on sale today, why not buy a head or two, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. And, you know, I can take advantage of dollar cost averaging into the Filipino peso. Something to think about if you are about to retire and move to another country. Keep a look at the exchange rate, because obviously your money that you're going to be taking abroad will be a hard currency from the home country, and there's going to be fluctuations. It's just the way it is with the forex market. So keep that in mind. You know, buy more when you think it's at an attractive price, buy less or none when you don't think it is. So that's just my advice on that. But getting back to the Wise Card, the Wise Card offers a mid-market rate to convert money. It's free to get. It's available to a whole bunch of countries. I'll go through the list off my head. Residents of the U.S. and Canada, for some reason, residents of Nevada, I know everybody gets into the debate of, is it Nevada or Nevada? But well, I don't know why, for some reason, residents of Nevada are not eligible to get a Wise Card. But citizens of almost every country in Western Europe, including Great Britain, can also get a card. New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, and I believe Malaysia and Japan. So with this card, you can hold over 50 different currencies. You can move money from your bank account really, really cheap. Like, I'm moving money with service fees of around, 23, 33 cents for the transaction. Really, really low fees. And when you compare the actual rate of exchange that's being offered by your home bank versus what Wise is offering, much, much better. For example, I converted a bunch of money last night because it was the weekend, so there's no real foreign exchange currency trading going on, so they can offer you a locked-in rate at a specific point. That I guess the trading ends on Friday. But I compared the rates for the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce on this card here to the Wise Card for $100 US. Well, the conversion rate from the Canadian dollar into the US was 3.7% cheaper on the Wise Card than the retail rate on this card. Now, there also is no currency conversion fee when you use your Wise Card anywhere in those 50 plus countries that you can have currency held on your Wise Card. beautiful thing. So if you're making a purchase one day in Manila, you're paying in local currencies, provided you've moved money over onto the Philippine peso side of your international card on the Wise account. No different if you take a little weekend trip up to Tokyo in Japan, no problem. Just move some cash over into yen. No foreign currency conversion fee. And you're buying the local currency at a really cheap mid-market rate. I think it's a fantastic thing. And for those of you who are going to travel and do a big trip, or let's say you're one of these border dwellers like me. I'm in the US of A once or every twice a week, so I'm out of the country often. Maybe you're an American citizen. You pop down to Tijuana. You buy a few things down there and you use your credit card. Well, you're paying for that conversion. And, because obviously it's in Mexican pesos. Same with if you live in Minnesota, you drive up to Canada, whatever. You use your credit card. Well, you're getting hosed on the conversion and possibly even the exchange rate. So the Wise card is your friend. And here is where it really, really adds up. If you're moving abroad and all your money is in hard currencies, for me, 98% of my money is Canadian dollars, maybe 2% of the money I do earn in retirement is in US dollars. Okay. So I want to make sure that that money is converted to the Philippine peso where I'm going to be living, next spring at the cheapest rate, because I'm going to be burning through tens and tens of thousands of dollars. And you think, what's 1, 2, 3, 4%? Well, it adds up when you're talking tens of thousands of dollars, especially since I already ran the test run. 3.7% difference on the exchange rate between the Canadian and US dollar on the Wise card versus the CIBC conversion card. So there you go. I'm obviously not going to be, I do have money on this card. These are prepaid, by the way. These are not credit cards. They operate like a credit card. Some of them even have your name on it, and they are branded with either Visa or a MasterCard. But they aren't a credit card, just so you know. So you might as well move all your money over as cheaply as possible and as easily as possible. You're just wasting your own money otherwise, because why let the banks get rich? Now, I know there's other competitors out there. Yes, there's different companies, especially in Australia and Europe and Great Britain, that do offer competitive services. But the Wise card seems to be gaining steam, and a lot of people are using it. For example, my friends in the United Kingdom there who just moved there, Carpenter and his wife, they have a Wise card. I thought I was giving him a big tip-off by calling him last week and saying, hey, you got to get the Wise card because all your money's US dollars and you're spending pounds sterling, so you might as well get it. And he goes, we already know about it. We got the card. So good for them. They got the card. Actually, there's even a way of making a few bucks if you want to do referrals. I'm not doing that. I'm not here to make money off of you, but you actually can refer your friends and make a few bucks. I'm not putting a referral link. I don't want to make money off you. I just want you to keep the money that you have and don't give it away to the banks. They're doing okay, those banks. You don't need to give them more unless you're feeling really philanthropic. Then just keep doing what you're doing. Give them the extra money. But for me, I'm not wealthy, so I'd rather keep my own money. So with the Wise card, you can accept money, you can pay money, and you can use it like a debit card internationally. No problem. 1 week you're in South Africa, you can use the rand. Next week you're in Switzerland. No problem. Use the Swiss franc. You got it. Just move the money around in the app. I've played with the app. It's easy peasy, and the loads are fairly quick. And they give you different options of how to load your card from your bank account, from a debit card, even a credit card. Obviously, pick the cheapest method, typically your bank account. That's the way you want to do it. And here's the best part about the Wise card too, and even I would say the Air Canada CIBC conversion card. If you're traveling abroad, you need multiple sources to get to your money, because if something happens, you lose your main credit card or your main debit card, well, you're in trouble. Always have a backup so you're not stranded. Very, very important. It really makes no difference that you got thousands of dollars back at home if you can't access it where you need it when you're on the other side of the world. Really doesn't make sense. So this provides me some options to move money and to spend money. Now the worst part that I do think that is bad for the Wise card is it limits withdrawals. You typically get 1 or 2 withdrawals. Read the terms and conditions that they send you from the country that you actually apply. You typically can't pull more than a couple $100 out without service fees per month. That's it. So don't rely on it just for cash. Use it for point of sale purchases. That's probably your best bet. And for sending money. That's just my thoughts. Hey, but having options is always important. And an option that is cheaper is always better than an option that is more expensive. That's just my thoughts. So, hey, for those of you that are travelers, even occasional travelers, get the Wise card. It costs nothing. Probably a smart move. Hey, it's your money. Why don't you save it? You put your comments down below, and I'll talk to you soon.
I got you.